If you want a great review and you want some laughs, don't look any further than just another horror podcast.
Wow.
Everything I thought it would be.
Hello!
Hello!
Hello.
Welcome to Just Another Horror Podcast. I'm Ben. Of course it's Dave. I had a vasectomy.
John. I just was fucking going around going, you want that?
I'm Cobra. I live in jiu-jitsu drive like a gangster when I'm coming to see you.
How's that for enthused? Hello. Welcome to Just Another Horror Podcast. I'm John.
Cobra.
Ben.
And we're back!
Yeah.
Back in a New York groove.
Until I shut the show down again unexpectedly out of nowhere.
What's everyone been doing?
Watch your back.
I watched a lot of horror movies in the past few weeks.
But you won't go see it.
That is bizarre.
I just can't spend money, and we need a babysitter.
I went and saw it for $3.
You know how much work is in one kid?
Yeah, it's horrible. Double that?
Double that.
Yeah.
You know how much work's in a dog and 2 cats? Rough.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, it is rough.
Oh, yes. I got a new dog since last show.
Oh, yeah?
Norman. He's pretty cool.
You don't walk around calling it your kid, do you?
No.
Because I hate that.
No. I
You
don't.
put it in
Shit
clothes?
sucks.
No.
Thank God.
Yeah.
What I
Dogs
do,
don't deserve that.
Because he loves my wife a little. He likes me. He loves my wife. That's what I always say. And she hates when I start pulling out the Norman Bates. A boy's best friend is his mother. And she gets. She's like, stop it. Yes.
I haven't done shit since we've been gone.
Wow.
I've been doing John Sequitur. That show's not going anywhere. But I should probably get into this first. We're going to do this at the beginning from now on. If you want to find us, you can find us on Podbean now. We're not on Podomatic anymore. It's cheaper, and we can put as many shows up as we want.
Yeah, fuck Podomatic.
Yeah.
You're on Podbean?
Podbean. And we're getting on iTunes as soon as I figure out the logo problem.
Ooh.
It has to be a certain size, but we'll be on there.
Get a good logo.
We're just going to use the same one. I just got to make it the right size.
Why don't you tell your uncle to make an even better logo?
Did your uncle have the ability to make logos?
He's made all of them.
He's the logo
Really?
man.
Yeah, he's the logo guy. He said he wanted me to refer to him as... Oh, fuck, I don't remember.
He's
Oh,
the
I'm
one guy.
terrible.
Hey, he's the one guy shouting in our live podcast that we suck.
Yeah. That was him.
I don't
So-
remember that guy.
He's like, you guys suck,
I was nervous on stage.
and he wasn't wrong.
Does he have his own business? Or does he just do this on
He
the
did
side?
graphic design, I think, earlier in his life, so
Oh, okay.
he just does it now.
Interesting.
Back when they had,
I was
like...
gonna say he did graphic
old
designs
ass-
in the 70s.
Yeah, like those old-ass giant computers took up the whole room. He used to do graphic design. That's
What
why...
was that first one called? Deep Blue or Big Blue or...
Deep Throat?
No, that was Linda Lovelace.
Oh, yeah.
Big Blue.
Your
What was
clits
the
in the
name of
back
that
of
first
your
computer?
throat!
There's a lot of...
What was the name of that first computer? You were gonna say something. I was
No,
gonna
I'm
smack
like
you.
trying to figure out what the hell you're talking about.
Your clit's in the back of your throat.
The first computer.
Okay.
It was called like
I don't know.
Deep
IBM?
Blue. No, it had a name.
Deep Blue Sea.
Deep Blue was the...
Deep Blue
Samuel L.
Sea
Jackson.
was a movie
Uh,
with sharks. A fucking shark ate.
Wasn't Deep Blue the computer program that played Kasparov and chess?
I need you. Yeah.
Yeah, it was
I
that.
need you to look up the first computer's name.
Okay.
This is how we. It's the first show. This is how we're gonna start it off.
Our format hasn't changed, people.
No. Well, I do this. You can find us on Facebook.com/horrorcastings. YouTube, we have a channel. It's just another horror podcast. All the old shows are on there. Not all of them.
Well, I'll have to get Robin started on some horror trivia
Mm-hmm. Yep.
of some sort. What do you want? Because you seem to be the guy that is
The worst?
I say worst. I say least informed about horror.
I don't know. I'll try
Well,
to come up with something.
what would your best thing be? Well, yeah, you can come up with it anytime and text me.
Yeah. There are us playing games against each other and Ben losing on YouTube. There's old shows. And this October, I'm going to have another 31 and 31. And if you guys want to get in on some of them,
You're doing that again.
mm-hmm. There's some bad ones coming up. In order to keep costs down for the time being, every single show that I record anything, it's not only going on YouTube, because we are putting this on YouTube even. It's now going to go under John Sequitur with Just Sick and the Top Shelf Hockey Podcast. Every single show gets put under the same thing because it's $8 a month to do that. So, yep, just saving myself money here.
Love what you're telling the listeners.
Yeah, they should know.
Well, I'd like to give a shout out to Daniel, but I wanted to thank him for being the #1 fan over there.
Yeah, he's even done some shows with me.
How's that going?
Just Sick stuff. So
I should probably listen to back episodes.
it's good. He's way smarter than me. So
You almost
So is
said
that jersey over there.
yeah, it is.
And that magnet over there.
We'll teach John to say, John, what are you? You're supposed to say, I'm a dumb animal.
Okay.
What do you think about the new Halloween that they're going to release next year?
I'm confused as fuck right now.
About why they're
Jamie
doing
Lee
it?
Curtis is dead.
Well, I think they're going to take out, I think they want you to do 1, 2,
Mm-hmm.
take out even H2O and Resurrection, and then just
Christ.
yeah, that's the only way they could do it is instead of 20 years later, it would be 40 years later.
Mm-hmm. I also read that they're not related anymore.
I didn't read that article, but I did see the headline saying something about that's the only way to go with this, and I'm like, how? I don't know how that's the only way you can go, but
No, if they're not related, then Jamie Lee Curtis leaves and Michael Myers does his thing without her.
well,
Doesn't make sense.
I love Halloween. I know the series has serious flaws, but I still love Michael Myers. He's one of my favorites, and I'm gonna go see it. And
I mean, I'll see it. Absolutely, I'll see it.
the she claims Jamie Lee Curtis, the picture that you saw with her on the porch and Michael in the door.
Mhm.
Did you see the picture? She claims that those are the same clothes that she wore 40 years ago as Laurie Strode.
Fuck you,
That's what she
you
said.
liar. Ben, give us a synopsis on Evil Dead from 1981.
Why didn't you ask me to write a synopsis? That was rude.
Because we know the synopsis. Fine, next time you can write a
You
synopsis.
No,
can write
I
the
don't want
synopsis
to.
next time. What the fuck?
So this one's pretty easy synopsis. 5 college students, Ash, Ash's girlfriend Linda, Ash's sister Cheryl.
Can I intervene?
No.
Alright.
And another couple, Scotty and Shelley, go for a vacation to an isolated cabin located in the mountains of Tennessee. After the group listened to an audio tape found in the basement, demons and spirits are released, with some of the group suffering from demonic possession. Will anyone survive? I threw that last part in.
Oh, that was pretty nice.
I'm at the edge of my seat.
I mean, that's about as
I just wanted to
down to it
say.
as you can get.
I just wanted to say one thing. They got it right. They had 3 girls and 2 guys.
What about the sister? That's weird.
That is weird.
Would you take
But-
your sister to a cabin in the woods when you're with your girlfriend and another couple are going to be there? Seems strange to me.
I wouldn't, but maybe some people would. I mean, if you're... My sister's a lot years older than me, so I don't know why she would be in the woods.
So we're just putting filler in right now because John mysteriously laughed. What's your history with this? Like, when did you first watch it?
I first
Because
watched
I think
this
that has-
probably...
I think that has a lot to do with
Yeah,
how you
I
roll.
probably saw this when I was 10,
Okay.
and it kicked a lot of ass when I was 10.
Interesting, because I don't think you like it as much as...
I don't like it as much as an adult, and the same with the second one. They were better when I was young. They're still good, don't get me wrong, but you notice a lot of technical issues when you get older.
They
and
were 20 and they were $300,000
I know, exactly.
budget.
And that's the whole problem is the budget, but it is so much better than a lot of movies that don't have a budget.
I thought, and I never looked at it until recently, it was pretty bold in 1981 to not just do a typical maniac in the woods slasher film when everyone else was doing that, and they went for like a supernatural.
Would you call this a slasher, though?
I mean, they're getting picked off one by one, but no, it's possession.
Yeah, what is this?
It's a supernatural
comedy.
Yeah, there's some comedy in it, but
Yeah, the first one not as
one's-
much.
The first one's a
second
lot
one's
darker
like-
than the second one, but
I just want to... And you said that you didn't like Army of Darkness.
No.
We didn't even
we haven't.
cover that one
Yeah,
yet,
we
because
haven't
I still have to
covered
go back and rewatch it, because I remember liking it a lot.
I know.
Chop S smart.
I just snagged them
Smart.
off John.
That's smart.
Completely different movie than these. In fact, Bruce Campbell doesn't even act like the same character.
Well,
What does he act? What do you think he acts like in the first two? He's
In the
not-
first one, he's kind of the reluctant hero. In the second one, he's more...
like he's He's starting to become Bruce
He's starting to
Campbell.
become Ash even,
Yeah.
but he doesn't really hit it until he gets to the third one. So
But you don't like when he's Ash.
I don't not like Ash. I don't like the movie.
Which one?
Army of Darkness.
Is it because Bill Moseley's in it?
Yeah, that ruined it for me when he's in the crowd for 5 seconds.
No, he's he's like the lead skeleton.
All that happens in that movie is a bunch of shots back and forth between reaction shots and action shots. So there's like an exploding skeleton, and it'll cut to a skeleton being like, oh, like doing a reaction to it. That's all it is for the last half hour of the movie.
All right, we'll cover that in another episode.
Okay.
But I'd asked Cobra because I think how you view this film is going to be influenced on when you saw it first.
I didn't see this until last of all the ones in the series.
How old were you?
I was older than I was probably like 16.
Okay.
I saw Evil Dead 2 when I was 8 though, so.
Okay. Cobra said he saw it when he was 10. I probably was more like you, John. Like it was late teens when I first saw these movies.
This was when I was hammering the video store for movies. That's when I saw those.
How great were those times when you patrolled
5 for 5.
Patrol
for
the
5
rows.
nights.
Yeah.
Patrol the rows of the horror film and just look at the box art.
Man, the box art was the
box
best
was
shit.
so good.
So,
I only have a few names. Actually, 2 names, Scott and Ash. I don't know any of the women's
Ben
names.
no, I
covered
already
that.
had it.
Oh, you did?
Ash's girlfriend Linda,
Okay.
Ash's sister Cheryl, and then the other couple Scotty and Shelley.
Can I ask you a question?
Yes, I don't know.
Linda is also the name of the woman in the second one. Is that supposed to be the same woman, or is that another woman that he met? And what is? Is it
okay? So
same cabin and everything? And
we'll get to that because I have the same question: is are we supposed to disregard Evil Dead 1?
I think so.
And like that, his sister and the other couple never went with him to this cabin.
Right.
It was just him and his girlfriend.
This is its own movie, I think.
Okay.
It's separate from 2. 2 is just a bigger budget 1 with less characters at the beginning and more at the end.
Yeah, because it's easily disclaimed. Sorry, I'm using that word. It's a work word that I have to type all the time. But people always just throw off that like, oh, well, you can just watch Evil Dead 2 because the first 10 minutes is Evil Dead 1.
It's not.
And I didn't
After watching them back to back,
I didn't
it's
think so
not
either.
the same thing.
And people just throw that out there all the time that
This is completely different. This movie is about 4 people who get possessed. There's no supernatural shit happening in the house.
well, Book of the Dead with demon possession.
There's the Book of the Dead and the trees are coming alive, but there's no like ghost interdimensional shit going on. The furniture's not moving on its own.
Yeah.
This is just 4 possessed people attacking Ash.
no, he's absolutely right.
That's our show.
He's absolutely right. And in the second one, it's literally Ash versus
Everything.
his his girlfriend's head,
including himself.
his
too.
hand. It's Ash versus hand.
Yeah.
And the first half an hour of this movie is just fighting all these things.
There's no mention of Deadites in this movie. There's no mention of anything really. It's just the book shows in it that bad shit will happen, and then the woods come alive and everybody gets possessed.
Now I want to ask you this. All the possession people, they kind of look a little different.
Yeah.
Budgetary reasons.
They must have ran out near the end.
That's what I assume. Because the last girl that gets possessed just has, like, rosy cheek,
She doesn't do jack
blush
shit.
on her face.
She just laughs. She doesn't attack anybody. She doesn't do anything.
That last pretty creepy though.
Yeah, it's annoying. I think that's why he takes her out and kills her, but...
I can't look at those contacts that they were wearing without cringing. John, have you have glasses? Have you worn contacts? You
Yeah.
wear contacts?
Yeah.
You've never worn contacts. I can't watch it because I'm just like those just look painful.
They probably hurt because, like, this is the early
Late,
80s.
yeah.
And I did
There was probably actually, like,
like the eyes of all
ink
these
on
people,
this.
though.
Contacts or something
Yeah.
crazy.
They just look. I cringe when I.
Okay, so at the beginning of this movie, Scott is the alpha male. He's the one going down in the basement.
Yeah, you think he might be the lead.
If you aren't familiar with this series at all, you might think that he's the lead. He goes into the basement, and then eventually Ash goes down there with him after the door flies open for no reason. And they find the Book of the Dead and a knife, and
A Panasonic recorder.
Yep.
Tape recorder.
those old reel-to-reels. So they bring all that shit upstairs and listen to it. And I can't understand if you're out partying and you're listening to a tape and it's like, blah, blah, research, blah, 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 Middle East, blah, blah, books that I found. Why would you leave that run? I'm like, fuck this. It's so boring.
And that's what I was asking in the second one. Why would you listen to that after this already happened to you?
Well, that's why I'm saying the second one is a movie on its own.
Yeah.
Like, it's...
I'm going to take you back to the same place where
It's
horrific
like-
shit happened.
It's like,
Play the
this is
same
what might
tape.
have happened in the first scenario with Linda, and if we would have went alone without friends, might be the second scenario.
It's
if
like
we went.
it's the end of Wayne's World where they do the multiple endings.
Can I be honest? I don't like Wayne's World and Wayne's World 2 very much.
I fucking love Wayne's World 2. It's better than Wayne's World 1.
I don't like either of them that much.
Bits and pieces of them. Like, you know how Saturday Night Live is a bunch of, like, scenes? That's kind of how I feel
Vignettes?
about this movie, yeah.
You mean?
As White Gold would say.
Vignettes, yeah.
Vignettes.
That's
We'll
kind of
see
what the
if
movie is. Some of them are good, some of them aren't good.
We'll see if we can get him back here,
Yeah.
but I doubt it because
No.
he's got another kid now.
I run into him at the grocery store and he's always like, I'm gonna go. Try to chat for like 2 minutes with him and he's just like, I gotta go.
Alright, so they bring it up, and they play the tape, and Cheryl doesn't want to hear it. And then a tree crashes through the window.
But this is exactly what you would do if you were a group of people.
So Poltergeist got the idea? Trees? Through the windows?
Maybe.
Oh, maybe. I see a lot of influences either way.
This was 81 and Poltergeist was 82.
Poltergeist 3,
Mhm.
Okay.
Now that can't be to say that it wasn't filmed earlier, because this probably came out in 3 months after it was.
If you look at horror movies, there's a bunch of shit that is all the same.
Yeah.
Like throughout the majority of them, they all steal from each
And
other.
we need
They
to
all
call
borrow
them
from
out.
each
I
other.
saw a lot more in part 2.
Yeah.
That was stealing or homaging. But this is exactly what you would do if there's a group of you at a cabin. It's kind of like, it reminded me of just like, oh, let's fuck around with a Ouija board, or we're bored, so.
Yeah, I mean, before this was the regular thing that happened in horror movies. I mean, nowadays, whenever you see a movie and there's a basement, they go down it, they find evil shit, they bring it up. This is kind of where it originated from. Or one of the first ones that it originated from.
Is this what the first, quote, cabin in the woods movie?
I think.
Unless there's something in the 60s where.
There's probably some, like, evil Sasquatch movies where people were in the woods or something.
Well, could you look at Romero's Night of the Living Dead as a cabin in the woods movie? I mean, it's a secluded farmhouse.
I guess sort of.
But I'm just asking. Because this...
You love that movie, don't you?
Night of the Living Dead? I like Dawn of the Dead better, but
What do you
Night's
like?
pretty
Day of
close.
the Dead.
You have to be different.
No, I fucking love that movie. All their yelling and shit.
Why do you like
I
yelling?
didn't say like.
Why do you
what's
like
that
yelling?
one?
Nobody likes yelling.
When they're like screaming at each other, it's really fucking funny.
That's an
You're
egregious
allowed-
point to bring up.
You're the loudest one out of all three of us. And you're
Well, I have to get my point across. I don't like yelling.
What's
Ben.
that 90s or 2000s one that Romero did?
which one? Oh, the...
Survival of the Dead.
Yeah, I
Land
didn't
of
say
the
that,
Dead.
so don't
Day
tell
of
me
the-
I'm being different.
Day
No,
of-
it's Land of the Dead.
That movie's awful.
That was the one that got shelved. He brought it out in early 2000s.
Didn't he do Survival of the Dead in mid
was after.
2000s?
That was after Land of the Dead, though. Land of the Dead's not bad.
Can't be good.
Let's not forget Monkey Shines.
I think
Okay.
we're
Holy
actively...
shit.
I think we're actively trying to avoid Evil Dead.
We're doing a great job.
I feel like we...
There's not a lot to this movie. That's
But
why.
I feel like we don't like it as much as what we're supposed to like it.
Nope. That's true.
I think that's true. It is true.
It is true. It's not as good as it
It's
was
not
when I
as
was
good
10.
as like the following that it has. I
No.
like it, but it's...
When you dissect it down?
Do you want me to, I'll give it right now. That's 5 out of 10.
Oh, I got it better than that, but
Maybe a 6 out of 10, but no higher.
might get it a little higher than that.
I gave it 6.
I actually like this one better than the second one, but...
Not me, but I gave this one a 6.
Wow. I still like it.
Spoiler
more than that.
alert.
So what else do you want to talk about with this movie?
This woman gets raped by a tree, which possesses her. I guess. I don't know. I guess.
I guess.
There's no real explanation.
First of all, we get to see a boob. A side boob, and then we see this woman's boob while she's getting raped by a tree. Is it that hard to talk about? It's not like she's getting raped by a human. It's a tree. We know this can't happen.
It's
We
nonsense.
can talk about it.
It is nonsense. It's just nonsense. It's nothing offensive. You know what? This movie would have no chance now. This movie would have no chance of getting put out now. A woman getting raped by a tree?
Oh, no.
No way.
Can't show that.
That's why I love these older
Did you
movies.
see the remake, The Last House on the Left?
Yeah, it was
I think
terrible.
that-
But
Yeah, but I wouldn't
that
think
was
that
even
certain-
5 years ago.
But I'm just saying, like, I didn't think that certain scenes would be like filming a remake, but they.
What did they? They didn't even show nudity in that movie.
Yes, they did.
There's pretty hardcore rape
No,
scene
they
in that
didn't.
movie that was.
In
I
the
watched
remake,
the
there was no
unrated.
nudity.
You watch the unrated version?
I watched the version I came through the Netflix.
I don't know. It's pretty rough.
I don't remember
They might
any
have-
boobs in that movie.
I do, unfortunately. I'm not big on boobs during rape scenes.
What I am not big on is having that girl survive when she was killed in the first one.
That didn't make sense.
Like,
That movie's bad though. Let's get back to this one. We got one sentence in.
Oh
what
wow!
happened here.
Yeah, we're just so off track.
She gets back to the cabin. They bring her in, and she tries to convince them that the trees did this to her. And they're like, "You're a fucking idiot, but we'll take you to town. Set the bridges out." It's just like uprooted.
There's a fog machine at this point.
There's lots of fog machines. There's even a scene where it shows fog coming out of the tree or the leaves,
oh, it's.
and it looks like somebody lit it on fire underneath, and you can see the shadow of them like trying to wave something in front of it to get the smoke to move.
Did you see the guy when they were coming into they were driving at the very beginning, and there was a guy.
That they had to swerve and miss the truck coming at them.
No, it's the guy was just standing.
Yeah.
Oh, the two guys hitchhiking on the side of the road.
Well, I thought there was just one. Was there two?
Mhm.
There was two.
There were two.
I just wonder if that was a crewman, like a crew
I bet
guy
it
that
was.
like just caught.
I bet it was. How many? There's no more than 8 people probably credited in this movie.
30.
30?
I believe it was 30. I looked up last night.
Holy fuck!
I don't know who all they were.
It must have been all the like
Oh, they were
chefs
just
or whatever
all
they
best-
call those.
They were just all best friends.
The demons in the basement, voices and stuff.
Oh yeah.
Okay, so she comes back. She warns them they can't get out because the bridge is out. So she comes back to the cabin and starts doing psychic shit, which this part was funny to
They're
me.
flipping cards up and they're trying to guess,
And she's like, "Ooh, wow, you're a psychic."
and she's missing them.
She's missing all of them.
And then the woman at the window says,
She gets them all right, and then she starts floating.
"Is that Cheryl?
Mhm.
Cheryl's a certified demon."
The sister.
Yeah.
Ash.
She collapses, grabs a pencil, and stabs Linda in the leg.
That's rough to watch.
Ooh, yeah. She grinds away.
That is rough to watch.
So they kick her into the cellar, where she spends most of the rest of the movie.
How many broken windows do we have in this movie?
There's at least 4.
I'm calling bullcrap on this cabin size too.
Is it the TARDIS of cabins?
Mm.
It has to be. I mean,
The picture
It's
they
not
show is like a
insanely-
map painting in the second one, I think.
it's not insanely large inside, but if you look at that outside shot compared to what's inside, no.
No.
Unless it's a shotgun house, as they used to call it. Like it is straight back.
Straight back. Which I don't think. The only thing that are straight back I remember from that Nintendo game, Friday the 13th. You
One
go
of
in
the
those
worst-
cabins.
One of the
and-
worst games ever.
My note says, broken window, fight, cuts hand off, Asterix, chick
part
outside.
2.
No, that's the first one.
He cuts his hand off in the first one.
No, somebody gets their hand cut off.
Oh.
Then Ash drags chick outside. Ash pours water on Scotty.
He dumps like a thing of whiskey on him or something. He's like, "Here, drink this," and just it drips all over him.
I thought it was water. I wish
Did
it was
did
whiskey.
Scotty get raped?
I like
By
how
what?
The trees.
No, and that's what I want to know. How did he get possessed? How are these people getting possessed?
I don't
and
know.
Ash isn't getting possessed.
Yeah,
I'm guessing if they get any bodily injuries of any kind.
because that woman just got like stuck in the leg with a pencil when she became possessed, which I found weird. Was the possession in the pencil?
doesn't
That's why
make
I don't.
sense.
That's why I'm not big on supernatural films, movies.
What about Paranormal Activity though?
I like that one.
It's a clearly defined demon in the first one.
You're a
That's different.
demon.
Thanks.
Well, okay, so let's
Another
talk about
6
that.
burn. Bye.
Thank you. Yeah,
Cobra.
I'm a little rusty. I'll
I
catch
know
up.
it's the first one back. It is tough. I
I did
couldn't
like-
get into these movies that much.
I did like in this movie that less is more. They're not going to show you a
You never
creature or
see
a
what's
demon,
chasing people.
but they show you that fast-moving camera chasing, and it's effective.
I don't think it is anymore.
No,
But it was when I first saw it. So, yeah, now everybody does that. The less is more shit. You don't see what's coming after you. We've all heard the 1974 Jaws story.
Mhm.
No shark, and it's been 40 years. So by now,
John, you're an expert on Jaws.
Yeah. yes, I am.
One of your top 5 favorite movies is Jaws: Revenge.
No,
Because Morgan Van Peebles is in it and he sings
Oh, yeah.
a song about a shark.
Who gets his clearly chopped in half and then returns at the end of the movie.
We got a big fish down here, man.
Oh, that's so offensive too.
it's so funny. They didn't even have that in the script. He was like, "I want to do that."
Mm.
Okay, so Ash is fighting At first, he's fighting 3 very angry women who are just acting psychotic. And then eventually does he bury his girlfriend, Linda?
I think that's because what he does in the second one. I assume that it's...
Yeah, he buries Linda. But at first he fights the one girl. He puts a knife behind her back and kicks her over on it. Is that Linda or is that
Shelley?
Cheryl?
Cheryl?
Cheryl's the sister.
Cheryl's the sister. She's in
Shelley's
the
the
basement
other.
for most of it. Shelley's the other one.
The other couple.
Because the Cheryl's trapped in the basement.
Mm-hmm. They chop Shelley up. Then they bury her.
Who?
Scotty's girlfriend.
Scotty's girlfriend.
There's Shelley and a Cheryl.
Yep.
They should have thought about that. That's really close.
They
Hey, Joe,
did.
what did you say? You text me. I was texting you last night about part 2, and I was.
Tyler Shire?
Yeah, you
Why
were
was
saying.
nobody texting me?
Well.
I watched the movie last night. Fuck you both.
So I told him the redneck.
I hate you both.
The redneck in part 2 was a poor man's Gary Sinise.
Oh, I had
Looks
him
just
as
like him.
I had him as Jay Moyer.
Jay Moore. He looked like chubby Gary Sinise.
No, he was young.
No. And John said that there was a poor man's Talia Shire in this movie. Which one was it?
I think that was Shelley.
Shelley.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, she looked just like Adrian.
Rocky.
Yeah,
His wife.
Rocky's wife.
Who's sisters with Martin Scorsese. Martin Scorsese's Talia Shire.
Is it?
I think so.
Pretty
sure.
Okay, so Ash is by himself at
Little
this
trivia
point,
people.
and he never really decides that he wants to take this on. But you can see, like, at one point, I think they film him, his expression changes to, like, alright, I guess I'm going to have to deal with this. And that's when one of them reaches through the wall and tries to grab him.
So that's when you say, like, he's the reluctant hero.
He's the reluctant hero. He doesn't want to do it.
Is Scotty just laying on the couch dying?
At one point, Scotty ends up on the floor, just bleeding all over the floor.
He's just laying on the
So-
couch dying at this point
Mhm.
with makeup on his face.
So Ash, he gets chased by Cheryl, and then Scotty comes alive. He becomes a demon too.
I can't hear the name Scotty without thinking of.
So don't tell Scotty. Scotty doesn't know. Scotty doesn't know.
I don't know
Yes, it
if
is.
he's
It is
actually
Matt Damon.
singing it, but he's
No, it's not Dave.
singing it.
And I can't. Every time I hear the name Scotty now.
I actually had that plug in here.
Nice.
It's the first time actually when Scott goes down the basement and Ash is like, Scotty! Scotty!
Yeah.
I have to talk to you a
Oh, he doesn't.
Uh-oh, is it secret? You can tell me.
What is it, bub?
We haven't recorded in a couple months. That kid's speaking better than me. Need to protect you from my dad. I still haven't seen this yet.
I haven't either.
I like that. Did you see the Hills Have Eyes poster on the cabin?
Mm-hmm.
You love that.
And then did you see that Wes Craven paid an homage back to him by showing Evil Dead that Nancy's watching when she's in bed that one night?
Uh-huh. Yeah, yeah.
I don't know if it had anything to do with each other.
Probably. One of the facts I have down here. Stephen King supposedly gave us a rave review which helped Vincent New Line Cinema serve as a
The
distributor.
first one?
The Evil Dead. Evil Dead, not The Evil Dead.
My box cover says The Evil Dead.
Does it?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Scotty attacks.
Well, why
He
doesn't
gets his
Ash,
plug pulled.
Why doesn't Ash get possessed then if he got chewed on?
Because he throws the book in the fire before he can get possessed.
That's not a roll.
The amount of time between when he gets bit and when the thing does attack him at the end is probably the same amount of time as when Cheryl was raped in the woods and when she became possessed.
What about
Listen.
the one that got stabbed in the leg?
Yeah, she got
turned
stabbed in
quick.
the leg, she turned instantly.
No, she didn't. She went and laid in the bed.
Turned pretty quick.
It was 2
Movie-wise, she changed in like 10 minutes, but this movie takes place over a long period of time.
I'm gonna call your bullshit out here.
Okay, so in one instance it happened instantly, and in another instance it took time. This is another instance where it takes time.
What about the instant ones though?
There was one.
But why?
Scotty took forever. He got attacked in the woods.
Scotty
and
took
forever to
hours
change.
to
Yeah.
change.
Yeah. So you're proving your own point wrong here. Only one changed instantly,
But
and it
what,
wasn't
no, that's
that instant.
not. It was instant.
It was not.
Scotty took 4 hours to change. One woman went to the bedroom and instantly changed after being stabbed, not bitten, in the leg. What is there demon juice in the air?
Demon
And
juice.
how did Ash not get affected?
Because they
Demon
need
just-
somebody to feed on, somebody's soul to feed on.
Demon just
But
sprayed it
that
everywhere.
doesn't make sense.
I don't know. I didn't write this shit.
You're a deadite.
Good. Another sick burn by Cobra. There you go. I gotta get more enthusiastic.
Claymation towards the end?
Yeah,
Is that
Ash-
what it was? Or stop mo? What was it? Claymation this one? It
Well,
was.
Ash throws the Necronomicon into the fire, effectively setting the melty
The chemical.
people on fire. They melt.
The chemical bleach explosion and meltdowns.
Yeah, what do you think this was? Was this claymation?
No, what's the word I'm looking for?
I thought it looked like they threw a bunch of cleaning supplies on a stove and closed up on it or something.
Yeah, they were definitely weird looking. It was brainy textures of different colors, like
It was gross, but it
just
wasn't clay.
eroding away.
Yeah. You looking up what it's called?
Yeah, I'm trying. I thought it was just
Scotty
like
has
stop motion.
baby disharmsh.
Hmm?
Scotty has baby disharmsh.
Your notes are bad.
Well, the two of them are melting, and a hand reaches through both of them. I guess that's supposed to be like the evil or something, right?
Yeah.
I guess. Yeah. Hand comes through them, and then they melt more.
I guess those were the true demons, maybe hands that were grabbing them.
Could be.
Because we find out there's a world of deadites later on.
Then Ash goes outside and
Ben is so unamused with this movie.
he couldn't find them.
He is on his phone.
There's a continuous shot at the end, starts at a leaf, picks up and goes through the entire cabin and goes into Ash's mouth, and that's how the movie ends, which is a cool shot.
Mm-hmm.
It
There's
is-
a lot of cool shots in this
There
movie.
are, but my biggest problem with the camera also is it looks like a guy in a room running around filming Ash for half the movie.
He's a little bit more steady than you would expect if he's holding it with his hand. That's
Yeah, but it's still it does have a home
Is it that
video
steady?
feel.
Because there's like real certain
it's jerky,
jerk.
but it's still steady. What I'm saying is it's not like shaking.
It's not
just
shaky.
turned at a weird
he's
angle.
not nervous when he's doing it. No, but he's
Right.
literally like quick, fast angles. So
That's
it's
why I'll
like
give him
mounted, but
some
he's
credit.
like
No,
pushing it. I mean, what'd you say the budget was? 300,000. Ish.
I think it was 350,000. I think people
So if
go-
we compared this $350,000 budget with other $350,000 budget movies,
is that what
it would
Halloween
fare
was?
well.
Though? Was Halloween 350?
Can we put it
The first.
Halloween as the exemption because that movie?
Halloween and Evil Dead are nothing alike
No,
at
no,
all.
no. I know
Halloween
that.
is off on its own. I feel because it was like the low budgeted first slasher sort of horror movie that everybody loves. So it's not fair to compare
And everything
any
is
movie.
low key in that movie. Even the soundtrack is just like minimal.
Is that
Well-
what's missing? John Carpenter's little synthy.
Yeah, there's not much of a soundtrack.
So
in
if you
this.
want to, okay, so like Halloween, John Carpenter does these long shots, like these long takes, where you don't see that as much in Evil Dead. Which one is more reserved? Like the long shots and the long takes, you could say, well, that's just a filmmaker just
I
chewing
don't
up.
know. I think there's some
chewing
shots
up
in this
film.
movie that go on for way too long.
But Evil Dead, there's a lot of editing that's done
Yeah.
well. And
it's
they just
so
which
weird
one
because
is
there's these long like shots, especially with the scene where he's standing up against the wall before he gets attacked from behind. That's a long shot, but the rest are like mini cuts, like very
Yeah.
small cuts. So it's kind of like mixing it up in this movie, whereas Halloween was all long, drawn out
Yeah.
cuts. That's why these two can't be compared.
Well, no, just like what the filmmaking style itself though is the long cuts, those long shots. Are they just is that reserved filmmaking? You're just chewing up film so you can get like a movie at a certain length where one.
Are you saying like are they trying to save film? Or
Are they
showing
padding
it up,
time
or
in
what?
Padding
Halloween
time.
Okay,
by showing?
I'm sure they are. They have to.
But I also understand how that works and makes you uncomfortable, tense with those long because you're just waiting for something.
Mhm.
But I
Back
don't know
then,
what I'm-
if
I don't know what
you
I'm trying to
did
say.
something like that and you screwed it up, that's a lot of wasted film and a
Yeah.
lot of wasted money. So
I don't know what I'm trying to
it
say.
had to be. It had to be.
We
on
know what you're
purpose.
trying to say.
Okay.
Okay, so the only person who hasn't revealed their score is Cobra. Let's go with him first.
I'm still gonna give this a 7.5 out of 10.
Wow, that's pretty high.
Yeah, it was. I think when I watch it,
For somebody who told me it's not as good as I remember.
yeah, I would have probably gave this like an 8.5 or 9 when I was really younger,
Mhm.
and all the crazy stuff that went on. But now you watch it and you're like, yeah, all the demons, they don't look alike, and why are they changing like that? And they all change at different rates, and when you pick it apart, it's not as good, but $350,000 budget, still good. It showed me a little nudity, yeah.
Oh,
Ash
it's in
is
there.
still good. Ash is
Yeah.
still good. No matter
He is.
what,
He's still good in this.
he's a good actor for this type of movie. And although it did not remain as good as I wish it would have, I'm still going to give it a 7.5. I'm going to be the different guy here since you guys
I'm
are
not taking-
dragging it.
I'm not taking away the
So far
influence that this movie had in future, with future filmmakers, and there are a lot of amazing shots.
There's a lot of
and
weird shots too.
Well,
Like he
the-
just was trying that
they're, like,
backwards. Is that in this one where he was like it was upside down and then it flipped over the back of his head and it was all of a sudden right in front of him? Was that this one or the
I
other
think that's the
one?
next one.
the like the shot across the lake, like I mean it's
Nope, it's this one. Upside down.
Is it?
Nope.
Okay.
but
I don't know.
I think it just comes down that I would just prefer a normal 80s slasher, I guess. A killer in the woods coming after these people rather than like a supernatural force. I know Cobra's looking at me because like you like paranormal activity.
Wait. Would you prefer Maniac to this?
Yes, probably.
I can't go that far.
I know that Maniac's disturbing. I mean, there's really
Yeah, but it's that. Would you? Okay, The Prowler to this.
Absolutely not.
they're two different films.
You just said slashers from the early
Yeah.
80s. You're talking about.
No, I would probably.
I'm just trying to get to the.
I don't
bottom
know what
of
my
this.
score of The Prowler was.
We don't have the record. We do have the records to pull that up. We won't reveal it until you give your score.
I prefer this like.
He said this is a 5, didn't he?
Nah, I said
6.
well, in highest 6. Yeah.
Okay.
The Prowler had pacing issues. This is like, I mean, start to finish, it is. Well, this is slow at the beginning. Part 2 is
Yeah,
like
it takes some time to
just
get going.
gets right into it. But I'd probably prefer The Prowler over this.
Oh.
I just feel like this movie is one of those movies that you're supposed to like it. So therefore, a lot of people just.
I don't like that. I think it gets too much praise.
Yeah.
I think it's a good horror movie. I don't think it's that great. I just think it's okay.
They're not movies. The Evil Dead series is not. There's people that I know that probably would watch this, once a year because they just love these movies. But I'll go years and years without seeing these, and I'm kind of interested to see like what I haven't seen Army of Darkness for a long time, and I'm curious
Oof.
how much I like that or remember it. And I have not seen the remake of Evil Dead, so
It's
I'm
not bad.
kind of excited to see that. Like what?
I went to
What a
theater,
modern-
so
You didn't like it at all.
it's not that I didn't like it. I
fucking
didn't.
theater to see that, but you won't go see it.
He got burned once, I think is what he's saying.
Not once.
More
All
than
those
once.
possession movies from like 2015, like that, The Devil Inside Me, and all those terrible movies. You just get tired after a while of watching like threes. You get tired of going to the movies, spending $30 for tickets and popcorn, and watching threes.
Where are you going? Well, I
The
guess
Regal.
Yeah, I guess that is about $30
I
for
saw it at the
popcorn
Guthrie
and
and
a
it was
drink
$3,
and tickets.
so brought a pop in with me. So fuck
Well,
it.
Snuck that in.
Yep.
You
Cost
wear
me
your
like
trench
nothing.
coat too?
Yeah, I did. I masturbated right there in the back. Nobody caught me.
Ew.
$3 masturbation, horror movie,
Where's
free
that at?
pop. The Guthrie. If you want to masturbate during a movie, that's where you go, everybody.
Pee Wee Herman was sitting right beside you.
And I'm like, hey, Paul Rubens, what's up?
So, one other
Tequila!
thing. One other thing I wanted to talk about was, I know that everyone's opinion is the Video Nasties list is ridiculous in itself, but this was considered one of the #1 Video Nasties. Like, we
Yes,
cannot
it
show this
was.
movie, and I'm not sure. There's really no nudity. There's no.
It's about the poster.
Was that
and,
it? It
and
was
all the
poster.
advertising. The poster and the advertising. And they heard that there was a tree rape scene. Did they see it? No.
They show one boob for like 2 seconds in the tree rape scene, and that's about it. They
Well-
spread a girl's legs. That's it.
Did you know this was not released uncut in the UK until 2001?
I did.
It took that long.
I did too.
The UK is a bunch of assholes. Gave
That's
this
why
movie a
dogs are
6. I think I
Yeah.
pretty much explained myself, right?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, it's better than average, but not by much.
Yeah.
So
It does get way more hype than. Sorry, Bruce Campbell and Sam Raimi, but this movie
I'll
gets
watch a
way
Bruce
more
Campbell
hype
movie at
than
least
Yeah, I like
once.
what
Bruce
is-
Campbell. It's just I don't know what it is about this series.
Younger. I mean, like they even the props they use are like just flimsy, foamy, and you're like, whoa. Some of those scenes where they're beating people with props, you're like, ugh.
Puppets. There are so many puppets in this movie.
Yeah.
Especially
So
when,
wait till the next one.
when they're hitting Cheryl in the basement with a log.
That
and they're
thing
just
is
like,
so
yeah.
flimsy. What's your beer? You need
Alright.
a beer.
You do need a beer.
You
Yeah.
need at least one beer.
Alright, that's gonna do it for this episode.
It's a very communist poster
It is.
look on that. I'm
Holy
surprised.
Russia.
You want me to have that beer? Since I...
I'm going to remind everybody and do a much cleaner job of it this time. You can find us on Podbean and iTunes. Facebook.com/horrorcasting. We're on Twitter @horrorcastings. We have a YouTube channel. Old shows will be on there. Our little competitions will be on there. You can email the show at horrorcastings@gmail.com. And that's it.
Thrill me.